Hi, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what went on during the course of my recovery. And a lot of you have asked me about typing on the computer, as it is very, very difficult for you. It was very, very difficult for me to type at first because I could not type more than 2 keys at a time without tensing up. In the same way, I couldn't play C, D, E, F, G on the piano with each digit. I would increasingly tense up and I get stuck. So I couldn't type or I couldn't play the piano, nor the same way I couldn't type. Somewhere along the line, I thought maybe if I could untense between each movement, I'll gain a little bit more independence among my digits. So that's how I started working on retraining on the computer keyboard at first. It requires a little bit of patience, but that's the game. Patience is the name of the game. Initially, I had a lot of difficulty typing. When I pressed a key, no matter what key that was, my thumb curled inside my palm. So even when things started out all right, with usage of each of my digits, my hand got increasingly tense like this. So I thought if I could untense between usage of each finger, it'll be a lot better. So that's what I did. I made a point to wait until my dystonic reaction completely calmed down after each usage of my fingers. So that is touch and wait. Touch and wait. Touch and wait. Touch and wait. And as I got comfortable touching, I made a point to, of course, press and wait. Press and wait. So waiting was waiting until the dystonic reaction completely calmed down. So mind you, that took like 20-30 seconds at first, and it seemed like eternity. But over time, as I practiced, the time that it took to untense between those movements became shorter and shorter. Initially, I kept my movements minimum and used my arm to navigate around the keyboard instead of reaching out with my fingers and moving my wrist and my other joints. But as I got comfortable, I made a point to break down the movements to kind of review each senses that was associated with the movements. So this is how I broke down the movement, was to prep, touch, press, float slowly, and part away, wait. And I did this very, very slow. And slow to the point that did not trigger any reaction. So again, with my middle finger is prep meaning lifting up this finger from my MP joint here, and prep, touch, press, float on top of, float on top of the keyboard, and part away, and wait until your dystonic reaction calm down. With your ring and your pinky finger, you could do it together. Well, let's try to do it with your ring finger. You prep, touch, press, float, part away, and wait. Over time, I could use my 4 fingers pretty well, but I still had problem with my thumb. My thumb was my problem finger, and I tried to do the same. I did the prepping, but I exaggerated the prepping, and I've noticed that my muscle here was so tense it didn't want to move from the CP joint. So try to do a lot of prepping and touching and pressing down. And when I try to press down, like I talked in the other video, I try to part my thumb away this way, press, float, and part away and waited. So that's prep, touch, press, float back on the surface of the keyboard, and part away and wait. And as I did this, I was observing, my muscles not to tense up as much as I can. I spent a lot of time just waiting for the dystonic reaction to calm down. But I got better at it on the keyboard as I did that. And so this is how I initially approached the computer keyboard. And I guess I kind of took that same approach to the piano keyboard later. So that's it for the computer for now. Thanks.